Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Bowman here, and we are continuing our playthrough of Planescape Torment. And we are looking for this Dustman right here, so let's see what he has to say. You see a tired-looking man in a black robe. His narrow face is extremely pale, and he doesn't look as if he's been sleeping. His shoulders are slumped, and the flesh sags loosely beneath his bloodshot eyes. He looks so lost in thought he doesn't even notice you. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
The man turns to face you and makes a slight bow. You suddenly notice his eyes aren't bloodshot so much as they have red tinge to them. I am Soigo. How may I help you? I had some questions. Halfway through your comment, Soigo's lips suddenly peel back, revealing a row of dirty, sharp teeth, and he leans in, sniffing you. Why are you sniffing me? Your clothes, those robes, they smell of another. They are not yours. Soigo's lips seal into a strange smile, and his eyes gleam with almost fair light. Who are you? You're correct. These robes aren't mine, but who they belong to is not your concern. Oh, but I'm afraid it is my concern. Soigo's eyes gleam red, and the corners of his mouth twitch slightly as if in anticipation. Mayhap, he sneers, displaying a row of sharp, dirty teeth. Mayhap I should call the guards. Yes, I think I will do that. Stop. Don't call the guards. I just want to get out of here. Can you help me? Get out? How did you get in? I don't really know. Soigo clicks his tongue. Most curious. He studies you again. It is possible that you are one of the contracted. Contracted? There are some that have been signed a contract allowing the Dustmen to use their bodies once they have died. It is possible that you were caught in an unusual mix-up. You seem much better than our regular zombies. People sell their bodies after death to you? Oh yes, in exchange for a small sum of copper, men are willing to sell a body they no longer need when they reach the true death. What do you do with these bodies? The shells perform menial tasks around the mortuary. They haul bodies, clean floors, assist us in preparing bodies for burial. Relatively simple tasks. It is unfortunate, though, they are not capable of following any complicated instructions. Well, contracted or not, how did I get here if I wasn't dead? Well... Obviously a mistake has been made. Either you were brought here by blood relatives, other dustmen, or one of the collectors. Collectors? Yes, collectors. Packs of scavengers that bring the bodies of the dead to us. They may have thought you dead. His eyes gleam, and they are so copper blind they wouldn't have cared to check before delivering you here. It is fortunate you awoke, or you may have reached the true death before your time. There's been a mistake, and I'd like to leave now. He nods, and the corner of his mouth twitches. Why, of course. Let me open the front gate for you. All right. Very well, the front gate is now unlocked, but you cannot re-enter. Can I ask you some questions before I leave? You may ask your questions. If I may ask, are you alright? You look tired. He manages a weak smile, and the corners of his mouth twitch slightly. I have recently taken ill. Minor fevers, nothing more. Sometimes they make sleep difficult. Anything I could do? No, thank you for your concern. I will endure. Was there something else you wanted? Do you know someone named Farad? Farad? Of course I know him. A ghoulish man, no respect for the dead and even less for the living. He is a scavenger, a collector. Do you know where I could find him? I know he resides in the Hive, the slums outside the mortuary, but I do not know exactly where. Some of the other collectors may know if they talk to you. I'm missing a journal. Have you seen one? A journal? No, I've not seen one. Well, looks like we're free to go.
All right.
we can walk around a little bit. Get our bearings and whatnot. So far, this game is very... It's very strange. It's very similar to the Baldur's Gate games, but at the same time, very, very much its own thing. Okay. Let's see. Walk over here a little bit. Or as far as I can go. So we could talk to a few people. The woman seems to recognize you instantly. She steps back in horror. After all this time, you bastard. May all the fields in Bator take ye. One day you'll be sorry for what you did to Erin. By all the powers, I swear it's in it. She turns to flee. Wait. You see a man in tattered clothing as you approach him. He suddenly stops and begins to look around, frightened. You there, hold a moment. The man looks startled, then takes a step back. What are you waiting, Cutter? His voice is shaking. He seems taken aback by your scars. I have nothing on me, so don't... my rags are not worth the trouble. Calm yourself. I'm not here to rob you. He keeps a safe distance, and his eyes dart from side to side, as if expecting something to step out of the shadows. Questions, you said? Oh, what might those questions be? Can you tell me about this city? What do you want to know about Sigil, then? What is this place? The city doors, the cage, place where all doors lead to and from, center of the plains. You get most of the backwash from all places, too. Some say this is where everyone ends up at one point or another. City of doors? Yeah, you see, Cutter, the city. The city's got a batch of doors scattered throughout it. You see the doors. The doors? Let me rattle my bone box with a little more sense. You see, there's doors all over Sigil, but they don't always look like doors. They're more like portals, see? And they can just be about anything. A window frame, a picture frame, an archway, a barrel hoop, a space between a table's legs, or a statue's legs. And you're saying all of these things are doors. Doors. Portals can be anything that's closed on all sides. It's hard to tell where they are, unless you got a key to the door. How... that how you got here, Cutter? Through a door? What makes you say that? Well, you don't look like you're from around Sigil. What are those keys you mentioned? Each door's got a key, which makes it open. See? Most times you don't even know a door's around unless you got the key. When the door opens, you can step through and take your chances. Trick is, you know how I was saying the doors can be anything? Well, so can keys. They could be a tune you hum, or near the door, or a thought you'd be having about pastries, or a little jig you do, or maybe the key's an object like a piece of glass, or a cobblestone, or a broken tooth, anything. Sounds pretty confusing. You get used to it. Where do all these doors in the city go? Doors can go anywhere, Cutter. Some don't even lead to the same place twice. You see, such is the way and the number of the doors that lead to almost anywhere in the plains, anywhere. It's just that there are so damnable many of them, it's hard finding one that takes you right where you want to go. He licks his lips as you turn to leave. Cutter, you might think he could spare a few coppers for a blood who helped me on your way. Not many around here do that for a fella. Enough for a man to get his tongue wet after all the talking, huh? Fair enough. He glances around to see if anyone saw the exchange and tucks the in the folds of his robe. Thank you kindly, Cutter. May the lady's shadow pass you by. Wait a minute, lady? What do you mean? The mistress of Sigil. You not heard of her? You must be blessed or more cruel. Yeah, I know a little about Sigil indeed. Lady's word's law here is Sigil. He thinks for a moment. Except she don't say much. Dead silent she is, actually. Some law? He looks at you warily. Don't want to be talking too much about her, Cutter. You don't want to cross her shadow nor be singing her praises, all right? Now let's say no more about it. Right in your bone box about the lady is dim, dim indeed. Farewell, then.
Maybe I can gut a dusty.
Uh-oh.
Damn it.
I'm gone.
All started crunch me telling his copper about now. I've never seen something so ugly I've not. Aye, slow sail days. All started crunch me telling his copper about now.
Okay. Let's see. Let's talk to this guy. The sculpted figure is hunched by the mortuary gate. His face is obscured by the shadows of his hood. What little you can see in his chin, which is covered with stubble and what appears to be a foul green and purple rash. The rash seems heaviest around his neck, fading as it crawls up his chin. Greetings. The figure doesn't budge. There's a moment of silence, then he responds in a high-pitched voice that sounds more suited to a girl of 10 years than a man. Hi. Who are you? Pox I am, hi. Pox? Mother and father named me, wished a pox on firstborn. A curse given, came true, it did. Again, your eyes are drawn to the purplish-green rash covering Pox's chin and neck. How did you get a name like Pox? What are you doing? Wait for debtors, do I? Debtors? Corpses? Why? Find a debtor, take him through the gate, get some drink, then again I wait. Through the gate? Why? A debtor's to a dustman while copper's to a collector. Bring them the dead and they give you a copper at the gate, they do. Why do dustmen pay for the dead? Streets clean, debtors put in their place. Streets don't stink. Aren't dead lost, keep inside gate, all happy. What do dustmen do with these debtors they buy? Haul debtors inside gate, put them on slabs, cut them, bury them, or make them walk. Make them walk? They make some get up, and if the dealer gives the dustman leave to, and the debtor comes, or scales, or zoms. I see. Do you know someone named Farad? Farad Collector. Big name, has weight. Cast long shadow, it does. Do you know where I might find him? In the hive here. He is somewheres. Can you be more specific? Somewheres in the hive he is. Farad hide he does. Very hard finding he is. Not worth finding he is. Not worth finding? What do you mean? Many hates him, other collectors even. Sharegraves hates him, not like Farad at all. Sharegrave? Sharegrave big name, carry weight, cast long shadow he does. Tell Pox what to do he does. Would your boss, the Sharegrave, know where Farad is?
Updated my journal.
Sharegrave knows dark, he does. No Farada hiding, he does. Sharegrave in Rackpicker Square, many blocks west of here. Say Sharegrave that Pox send you, tell him Sharegrave become sharecopper with Pox, he will. I've lost a journal. You wouldn't happen to have seen one, would you? No journal have I seen. Things get lost in the hive, never found again. Maybe a journal or one of them. Interesting. A huge monument. There's no name or plaque identifying who it's honoring. What's this building? So I should save.
Chief, what are we doing in here? Let's say we just give this place the laugh, all right?
Looks like the Dusty's lost one of the dead.
About in here. The sarcophagus has appeared to be here for centuries. There's no lid. The exterior seems to be made of solid stone.
All right.
The stone has been written with remarkable penmanship upon the finest parchment. Vaxis, if you are reading this, then you have undoubtedly failed your task, and I have been forced to use the escape route I arranged. I told you that your little disguise ideas were ridiculous. In any case, you'll need to lay low for a while. The dustmen may be deluded, but they are not fools, and they will certainly seek retribution for our intrusion. I have left you some coins. Use them to secure a hiding place in the hive, preferably in Ragpicker Square. The dustmen will be unwilling to look for you there. Once you've secured a new hiding place, I have a new mission for you. Find out where Farad is getting those bodies he's delivering to the mortuary. It's apparently causing the dustmen a great deal of upset, and I wouldn't mind knowing myself. Reports are that stone-faced dustmen at the Gathering Dust Bar indicate Amorik, I think the fool's name has been sending out finders to try and mark Farad's movements. See if you can find out how far he is and hinder his efforts until we know more about Farad's activities. I don't want Amorik finding out something before we do. This brazier has long since run dry of oil. Only ashes remain in the bottom. Okay. Let's see. Let's head back out. Who's this? You see a tall creature with a shock of white hair. Its skin has a greenish cast, and a pair of goat horns protrudes from its forehead. It is dressed in long flowing robes and appears to be floating slightly above the ground. Greetings. The creature turns to face you, and a series of symbols appear around its head. The symbols have a slight glow about them, and they just hover there. Oh, for the power's sake. Piking Dabis. What's wrong? He's a Dabis. They speak in rebusses, these annoying word puzzles. If you don't know what he's saying, then we better find a native or some other way to communicate with him if we want to. An annoying bunch, my bet. They can speak, they just would rather piss everyone else off by trying to puzzle out what they're saying. What's a Dabis? Chant is their janitors for the Lady of Pain. They float around breaking and fixing and patching up sigil according to their whims. They're worse than corpses flies. You can't swat them, though, or the lady'll get upset. Lady of Pain? Who's that? She runs the city. You'll know if you see her. She's got these blades around her face. She's just about the size of a giant. She floats off the ground just like these guys. Morty nods at the Dabis who's looking at you both. Nobody knows much about her. She doesn't speak much. All you need to know is that you don't want to make her angry. If you see her, my advice, run. I see. The Dabis waits patiently, its hands tucked into its sleeves. A series of symbols materialize above its head. Then they vanish, and a question mark appears. Morty, can you translate what he's saying for me? I'd sooner be strained through Tanari's bowels than unravel what these floating goat heads are trying to say. You want to translate or find a sigil native? I see. Try and strike up a conversation. See if you can translate what the Dabbas is saying. You ask the Dabbas several questions, trying to get a feel for the rebusses that appear above its head. It is extremely patient throughout your discussion, giving you easy sentences to translate. After a few minutes, you start to get the hang of it. It feels like you've done this before. Maybe you can help me. Who are you? The Dabbas inclines his head slightly and a stream of symbols appear above his head. I am a Dabbas. What are you doing? I attend to my duties. Can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? The lone symbols appear above the Dabbas's head. This one shows a metallic female mask with blades coming out of the sides. Just looking at the ghostly image makes you uncomfortable. Farewell. That was odd. Let's see. You see a tired-looking woman dressed in a tight leather bodice and her leggings. The odor of cheap perfume surrounds her like a cloud, and her face is covered with a mask of crude makeup. She smiles as she sees you. Why don't you stay and chat with me a bit, love? Greetings. The woman looks coyly at you. Now you look at you to be a blood who's lost something. Mayhap I find a cutter? Oh? What good fortune. We probably lost what we're looking for back at your kip, miss. Actually, I'm missing a journal. Yeah. What are you about? Forget the journal. Maybe you can help me find what I'm really missing. Her tone becomes businesslike. Hey, love, now that's the matter of a finder's fee. Forget it, then. I had some questions. I'm not a tout, she frowns. She rubs two fingers together. Unless you got some jink to pay for my time? I can pay you. How much? 7 coppers. No more, no less. Sounds fair. Here's 7. And then she slips the chink into her palm, where it promptly vanishes. Can you tell me what's of interest around here? She puts her hands on her hips and pouts. Depends on your interest, Cutter. I'm looking for work. She laughs. You're asking me what you thinking about becoming of the old sisterhood, are you? She nearly buckles over in laughter. The screeching is similar to a drunken harpies. Eventually, the gales of laughter subside, and she takes a deep breath. Yeah, you're a rich man, are you? What else is around here of interest? What can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? She spits and makes a half circle around her heart. That bladed witch, all high and mighty, mistress of all the city, floating and silent, she kills anyone in her shadow. She tends to the city, and she hisses, and leaves the living things in it to rot. I'm looking for someone named Farad. Farad? No, that's one of the great darks, love. If you'd be wanting to know about that blood, that'll be thrice the coppers of a normal asking. Fair enough. Here's 21 commons. She gives you coins once over and shrugs and pockets them. What do you want to know about Farad? At that price, anything you can tell me about him. She shrugs. Chant is the collector's boss, has a whole bunch of bloods in his shadow. Where can I find him? Now, no one knows for dead sure, but if I were to suggest a place, I'd say Ragpicker Square. Ragpicker Square? Yeah, the big old heap of rags and trash 3 blocks due west of the mortuary. All the collectors stick their kip there. Chances are Farad's got his kip there too. Chief, can you sport me some jink? And it's been a long time, it has. I'm not even going to ask how you intend to accomplish this. Woman breaks in. It's twice the cost for the Mimmer or any other degenerate. Mimmer? Mimmer's a Tuckland Encyclopedia. That's me, Chief. Let's just get out of here. Farewell, miss. How much gold did we lose? Okay, not that much. We still got a few. Let's see. I think we'll actually end this episode here. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Planescape Torment. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you all in the next one.